good majority of the game. He didn't really gank too much, so maybe he's just counting on that just to farm up enough, get his Q ranked up enough to really do some damage later on. But considering you have a Maokai, I mean, Maokai obviously can't duel Nasus, but neither can Nasus. So, I mean, well, they can't duel each other really. Like, no one's really going to win.
Nasus can't duel himself. You're correct on that assumption.
Nasus can't
duel Nasus.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant. But
I'm not sure we did, but nevertheless, it was a good point.
My mind.
Yeah. Ninjas in Pyjamas, ladies and gentlemen, are the blue team if you've just joined us. And of course, that means the red team will be Evil Geniuses. EG picked up a win earlier on today against SK Gaming. They are now equal on the bottom of the table, or while I say it's the bottom of the table, it's a little bit harsh because it's a very close table, very clustered together right now. There's probably still about 6 teams within a couple of wins of one another that could easily change places after 1 week. But it is EG that are looking for a bit of an evade, and they've got to be cautious because if they go in towards that bush, Ninjas in Pyjamas are ready and waiting.
They do have a decent team just in terms of if you can lock them down, you can silence them as Bjergsen's going to show himself. But yeah, you need to keep in mind, if Evil Geniuses lose this game, they actually drop to 8th, if I'm not mistaken. SK will surpass them just in terms of ranking. So to go in dead even for last and to come out, oh, they're not, actually, they're not? Okay, they're not, so.
No, they'd be equal on wins and losses, but
okay, so tied for 7th.
But EG already beat SK.
No, I thought they're tied right now.
EG beat SK. No,
okay.
No,
yeah, you're right.
Yep.
You're always right.
I know. That's a lie. I'm not always right. I'm wrong half the time. Nevertheless, though, we are about to get underway. And look at this, 1.5 minutes. Not a great deal, but ping ward from Crepo coming out in that mid lane already. So they want to make sure they keep some clean coverage. And it looks like we're going to have the AD and duo lane in this middle lane this time around. So they're going to be 2v1ing Bjergsen, which is a good choice, I think, against the Kassadin. It does mean it looks like it's going to be Froggen going towards the top lane.
And I think Bjergsen's already prepared for it. Has a door and shield, going to be blocking some auto attack damage. And yeah, Froggen. So Froggen in a 1v2 situation against a Draven and a Thresh, you're obviously not going to have escape to level 6. If Maluno ganks that top lane and you don't have that flash, you're going to die. Like, you're going to get hooked, you're going to die, and you cannot afford to feed Freeze, who just is going to get stronger as the game goes on. He's Draven. He hurts so bad in lane, and it's only going to get worse.
Oh, we'll see how it works out. It does mean that Bjergsen's going to try to be zoned out as much as possible. We've already seen Yellow Pete trying to do that. And like you mentioned, the fact that he's taking that shield, they were well prepared. And it's funny, really, you speak to these players, even like when it comes to picks and bans, they always say, we knew exactly what they were picking, and we knew exactly what they were going to take. It's a little bit scary, really, just how much research does go into it, that they know exactly how to do it. The question is just like whether the plan works against it when they know that's going to happen, whether they can counter it the right way. It does look like Snoopy's going to be taking that double buff. Let's see whether he goes aggressive. No, he's going to go straight back for the walls, so he's going to continue farming. Oh,
looks like Maluno actually is caught here a little bit, trying to farm his own race. So by having the support middle, it means you can interact and counter jungle a lot more since you have the support to be there to help you out. And Maluno actually getting shoved pretty low. He's going to try to actually still take it here. He doesn't have smite, Snoopy doesn't either, but he's going to be able to land it in. A little bit of counter jungle done there, so not bad. And that means Yellow Pete's going to keep up in levels since he gets a little bit of extra farm there. And we do see already bottom lanes just going head to head here. Extinct taking a half-life, so has Wicked right now, and currently Extinct has a CS lead.
Snoopy's going to go for the bottom golems, or is he going to stick around and maybe go for Extinct in his bottom lane? Has got Wither leveled up, I believe, right now. Then look at Froggen in this top lane. He's been pushed right up there. Doesn't want to mess with Freeze and Deficio. Of course, if he lands on those hooks, it's going to put a lot of pressure down. Maluno reacting to this one. He's going up towards the top, so we're going to see both junglers going towards it. It's Extinct in the bottom lane, though. The Wither is in there. Does try and get away from it. The Ignite, what a great stun on Snoopy. He's going to take a second tower hit. Oh, it's not going to quite be enough. The Ignite's going to be there. It gets him, and Extinct takes first blood.
And you know Extinct is sitting there saying calculated.
I knew that was happening, yeah.
But wow, I mean, because the thing is, he threw out his W to run away at the same time. And he flashed, then took it, and then, oh, wow, just fantastic play. Gives him double buffs, more importantly.
Yeah, that's the scary thing now. So that's going to cause all manner of problems for Wicked down in that bottom lane. He is going to have a wave shoved up against that turret. He is going to try and clear as much CS as he can, but a double buffed up Extinct is going to be a scary thing. And that's just unfortunate for Snoopy, honestly. That was well timed by Extinct to land that stun, know exactly how many tower hits. But look at NMP in his top lane as well. Doubling out, pressuring 3 members, just clearing out the waves and really going to take that turret down very quickly. Nothing Froggen can do about it.
The thing is, I don't think they want to take the turret down. They just want to keep him zoned because he's sitting at 11 CS now. Obviously, he's still being his counter opponent, but if you look at Freeze, 31 CS to the 26 of Yellow Pete middle when Yellow Pete should have an easier time of farming at this point, so they're doing a great job of keeping him out. He's only level 3 right now, where Bjergsen still is level 4.
And because Extinct just got that double buff, he's probably made the call. He's like, guys, I've got double buff at the bottom. I want to keep it. I want to stay here as long as possible. This is working wonderfully for me. We do see NIP putting a lot of tower damage down, though, and they are going to slowly but surely take that one down. Look at the two CS as well. 33 to 32 between the two AD carries. We are seeing a 3-man stack in the mid lane this time. Snoopy's going to land on those big Qs on towards that turret. You see Yellow Pete and Crepo. They want to get out of this lane as quick as possible. They're trying to free up Froggen. It is going to be Maluno catching on Snoopy. Hasn't taken any turret damage this time around, though. Throws down that Spirit Fire and walks away successfully.
Yeah, this time he's like, I'm not going to attack you with a turret and get away, because he almost actually died there. If Bjergsen had Ignite, they might have been able to take it, but that is the first turret of the game, going over to NIP. But this is the dangerous point, because now, if you don't keep Froggen in check, depending on what you do with lane swaps, he can farm like crazy. We know Froggen can do that, and if he gets farmed to that point, he can pretty much become a nuisance for your team. He could be able to pretty much kill Freeze one-on-one if he gets a couple of items.
And here's Freeze and Deficio move to the mid lane, and they are now up against the duo pairing, which means I guess Extinct is probably going to go off towards the top where Froggen is, and we'll see how that works out between them. Both actually have been limited in terms of farm, which is probably going to slow the game down quite a bit, as much as I hate to say it, because those two mid laners would like to get fed a lot more before things start happening.
Slow game with Evil Geniuses? Never heard of that.
It's shocking, I know. It's unheard of almost. But unfortunately, that is what I think is going to happen. But I don't think NIP want to make that happen. Yeah, I think they want to push it.
We talked in the pregame about how NIP, they probably want to push before 30 minutes, because then they get to a territory where they're uncomfortable with their current roster. They haven't had the opportunity to really practice that, and that's where Evil Geniuses can easily overtake them. As Snoopy's not doing too much counter jungling this time. He's trying to roam around, trying to make some ganks happen. He looks like he will head bottom here, but it's too late. Extinct's double buffs are already worn off, and Wicked's he's having not that bad of a time, considering there was double buffs on the other team. He's not that far behind CS.
They're going to push quite far up the lane here, which is why he's coming around. Puts the Wither on towards Deficio. Hallingale will catch him out there. Haven't really got the damage on. Forces the flash, tries to hook straight back on there. And actually a lot of damage going back onto Snoopy this time from Freeze. Now on towards Yellow Pete. That's going to be the... I never remember the damn name of that. Eye of the Storm, whatever the hell it is. The big shield. Yeah. Come on, help me out here.
No, you're right.
It is Eye of the Storm.
Why did it correct you when you're right?
Why did I don't even know why I doubted myself.
Yeah, you shouldn't. That was perfect. But yeah, I mean, that's Draven. He does so much damage early on. He has those two big spinning axes right now, and you can easily turn on the ganks. If that hook landed, I think Snoopy actually would have been dead, because it would have been pulled under turret with that twisted advance. And it looks like Bjergsen, if he hurries, will be able to pick up that blue here. Snoopy will be able to pick up his red, and you already see a little bit of a level discrepancy happening, where Maluno level 5 right now, Snoopy level 4. And to be honest, as the game goes on, considering you have two mages on your team, any extra levels you can get on over the other team is phenomenal.
Snoopy taken very low by the red buff there, but he will clear it out. And that's going to wipe out. He's just building up his Q, of course, in that jungle. That's exactly what he wants to do. We'll keep our eye on that as the game progresses. Bjergsen comes into the top lane, puts a bit of pressure on towards Wicked. Not a great deal, because he was kind of ready for it. He's all got himself a null magic mantle, but no boots, which is maybe a problem, because Extinct has got Sorcerer's boots already, so he's going to be way more mobile. Froggen ready and waiting for Extinct. Thought he was going to lunge towards him. And that hook, or the Claw of God, I think it was, Joe called it earlier on, is a problem.
And we see how they're going to react to that, because now Wicked, he is level 6, but if he leaves his lane when he already has one turret down, he could be missing on a lot of CS, and it could be a free turret for NIP if they play their cards right. And I think he's able to clear these waves out extremely quickly. He's out-farming Froggen, he's out-farming Wicked right now, and the entirety right now of NIP is out-farming EG.
Freeze is continuing his farming merry way. As you said, it's only about a 5 CS advantage. In fact, they weren't in lane together at the start, but Snoopy's going to be taking that blue buff. He's going to be giving it across to Froggen, who will thankfully take it that gift and go back down towards the bottom. So lanes are jumping around a fair bit here at the moment, but it is definitely a slower start. Still just the one kill so far on Snoopy in that bottom lane that Extinct managed to get. Extinct, actually NIP in total really haven't done a great deal of maneuvering. Froggen though looking to go aggressive, pops his ultimate, land charm does not land. That's going to be going straight back in. Extinct tries to zip away from that one, working wonders as Maluno comes in. They do manage to get the stun in there. Shadow Dash not landing from Wicked either. This is backfiring horribly. Teleport's going to come in, Bjergsen comes in, silences Froggen down, they go for Wicked. Wicked's going to get dropped here, and that backfired horribly for Evo Geniuses. And Ninjas and Pyjamas, they were so prepared for that. They knew exactly what was coming, and they just countered it excellently.
And now they got a kill off of that, and Bjergsen got an assist, which he really kind of needed, considering he was already pushed out of lane a little bit. But Extinct, now 2-0. We've seen how deadly Lissandra can be with Brown Lord on alternate back in week number 1, actually with many different players. And the stronger he gets, the more deadly, because if he hops on Yellow Pete or if he hops on Froggen, more specifically Froggen, because Yellow Pete does also have cleanse, but she actually gets pulled right there, but will escape. But if Froggen gets locked down by Extinct, he's going to blow up at this point. And you cannot afford to have him die like that.
Yeah, it just seems to me that the crowd control, the maneuverability that Ninja Pyjamas got is a step ahead of Evil Geniuses, honestly. We saw Snoopy having to use that ultimate there to try and get the Dragon, but he wasn't sneaky enough. That is going to be a problem because NIP should pick this one up easily. EG are not maneuvering for this, so they're allowing NIP to have it. They're going to stretch that gold lead even further.
And it's starting to get really out of hand, and NIP, I mean, they're doing such a great job of just controlling the game, taking advantage wherever they can. And it looks like with that pickup, they actually start making some pushes here, as it looks like Freeze will have his Bloodthirster done really soon. And as you mentioned, the Sorg Boots on Extinct so strong early on. LP only has currently 42 match resist, and Extinct, he's sitting on 23. As you do see Extinct get actually caught by a charm there, but it's not going to be enough. Froggen just doesn't have the damage, unfortunately, and Extinct is just too far ahead at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't have that damage, and you see the axis from Freeze actually onto Crepo, but he just put the Eye of the Storm back on Pete, and Pete's crying out Pete to just go toe-to-toe with Freeze so far. But as you mentioned, there's just not the damage there from Froggen. That was his combo, his ultimate, his charm, everything landed. But it didn't even take Extinct below half health.
I think that's just due to a little bit of levels. I mean, he's 9 to 8, and to be honest, like obviously AP casters get stronger as they level up instead of more towards their items. And I think he's just pretty much free farming now at bottom. You see him, he just full cleared that wave really quickly, and he's sitting at 90 farm, almost the most in the game, tied with the 80 carry right now of Evil Geniuses, where currently Freeze has the advantage. And Bjergsen trying to push, he already has 2 of his items, you know, the Tear and the Catalyst, and he's only gonna get stronger.
Yeah, we already saw Wicked. He actually was pretty tanky even in that bottom lane, but he's building up that Aegis Legion. He's going to go full on for the Runic Bulwark, it seems, which we saw Kevin doing in the last game. Was it Kevin who played Shen? I can't even remember now. So my memory's just getting a bit fuzzy, getting old.
It was. It seems to be spot on today, at least.
Yeah, I'm just questioning myself. I should never question myself. But nevertheless, we do see needlessly large rod coming out from Froggen this time around. So now he's going to have a little bit of damage. This could be the turnaround that he requires. However, Extinct is going towards that Abyssal Scepter early on, so he's got that Necrotron Cloak.
You're spot on today. Damn. You're unstoppable right now, David.
I keep questioning myself. I don't know why.
But yeah, so Abyssal Scepter going to be coming out of Extinct. It's going to help out Bjergsen as well. Keep that in mind. The Abyssal Scepter is AoE, or magic resistance reduction. That's really hard to say. So pretty much Bjergsen will benefit off of it. Everyone that does magic damage will benefit off of it. And considering it gives him that extra magic resist where him and Maluno are the big initiate, you can lock down someone and you can survive that entire fight as well. Like, you'll be able to get right back out and do more damage.
You know, I hate to break it to everyone out there, but this is a bit of a farming session right now. We're 12, coming up to 13 minutes in it. Still both AD carries, haven't gone for boots because, frankly, they don't plan on moving from that mid lane. We are seeing Freeze actually going back to buy something now. Let's see what it is. Is it going to be an item to go aggressive? It's going to be a Bloodthirster. Yeah. Not going to bother with the boots. He's actually throwing his ultimate up the mid lane as well. That's going to zoop straight through, but it's not going to stop the turret going down. That's the first turret of the game for Evil Geniuses. We're seeing Froggen sneaking around the side. He thought about getting aggressive, could have landed that charm, but Maluno wouldn't be the target he was looking for.
And the point we're at right now is, you're definitely right, it's a complete farming session, but I think because of that Bloodthirster being done, because of the Rod of Ages almost completed on Bjergsen, and because the Abyssal Scepter is almost done on Extinct, we might see fights break out soon, because Yellow Pete, he's probably going to build into an Infinity Edge, and he has a lot of farm to go, a lot of gold to really rake in before he can buy that, and that means NIP will have the item advantage. They already have a stronger early game right now, and that is just going to spell disaster for EG.
Ironically, Freeze throwing that ultimate of the mid lane game, just that little bit of gold he needed to get their boots. So managed to complete that out there. So, 2-0 so far, Ninjas in Pyjamas. 2 kills coming in. It was Snoopy and Wicked that got caught out. First, it was a failed gank in the bottom lane, and then it was another failed gank in the bottom lane. Extinct, of course, coming out victorious both times they've tried to dive on them. Lissandra working wonders. And is it actually a dangerous champion to dive in? It's a bit like, don't dive at Jax under a turret. It's kind of the same as a Lissandra as well. You don't dive towards him because he can just stun lock you there.
And he can also like pretty much Zonias himself for free without even the item. So yeah, you're definitely right. It's so dangerous to do that. But if you look at the other side of that coin is, if you do kill him early, think of the advantage you get over him. But unfortunately, you know, it didn't work out for him that time.
Well, Froggen's turret's about to go down in that bottom lane. Just needs a gentle breeze to drop. Crepo's actually going to take a bit of damage, but look at that! Blows him towards the tower, but unfortunately, he didn't catch him out. Froggen comes in. That time it will. And this time it is going to be Evil Geniuses with their first kill. Some great play from Crepo there to blow him into the tower with the Monsoon.
Some big plays, because now he's not going to be alive anymore. They can push that middle with Froggen there, because right now, Bjergsen's towards the top side. We have the Santra and Maokai down bottom. They're backing away here, and they might get some good damage onto the turret, and damn, Crepo, those are some big balls right there to flash in behind Draven and knock him into your own turret.
Snoopy's making a mad dash to join in here. It's going to be a 4-man Evil Genius team. They've got the next wave of minions there as well, so they should do good work on towards this inner turret. While this is all happening, Maluno is also shoving the bottom turret at the moment, but I don't think he's going to quite have enough, and it's going to be an inner turret in that mid lane going down. Nicely played from Evil Geniuses from one single kill, taking a big advantage.
I think that was 2 turrets they got, so they gained quite a good chunk of gold. As Maluno, he's coming in, he's getting very ballsy here.
He's going on towards Snoopy, but immediately the charm lands, and they're going to turn it back around. It's going to be Maluno that goes down. The Flay comes out, has to get flashed away from that Shadow Dash of Wicked, and Ninjas and Pyjamas, they tried to counter this one, but EG were ready.
I want to imagine the voice program they're using right there, listening to him, just him coming, guys, I'm coming in, and then he just dies and nothing happens. So anyways, he just falls down, and honestly, that's a little bit, I mean, obviously it's a mistake, but considering the point of what just happened, them taking 2 turrets, then to go in for a gank and fail it, it really kind of sets your momentum a little slower.
Being EG, of course, it is raid call. Get that out there. I'm sure that's what they're using right now. The Susie Freeze back in that mid lane, keeping those waves cleared. Not going to actually go and shove on towards that turret. Has got the chance to. Realizes there's minions all across the board. He could have easily cleared that one out, but didn't go for it instead. We do see Extinct looking. Look at this. He wants to go for a gank on towards Froggen. He may be able to go for it. Yes, he does. Doesn't get the lockup. Is it going to be enough damage? Surely it is. Froggen gets stunned out there. The Ignite going down. Will he get away? Yes, he will. Would you believe it? Froggen escapes with just 69 health.
Wow, and because of that, they really get the dragon, though. So anyways, the damage is still done. He's out of the lane. They're going to get a free dragon, so in the end, they actually get more gold overall from that. And Extinct had flash, so he actually could have chased down Froggen if he wanted to, but he didn't want to overcommit. He didn't want to get in a very dangerous position, and now Bjergsen here getting ganked by Yellow Pete and Crepo, and it's kind of weird to say, but it's hard to gank someone when you don't have CC.
It's hard to gank a Kassadin in first place, but he is going to try and get away from this one. He's going to jump across. He's going to see Crepo in a moment, though. Throws out that Hailing Gale. The Wither coming out from Snoop is going to slow him down. We see Froggen also closing the gap. He's going to zip across to Crepo. Crepo also putting the slowdown on him. Yellow Pete's going to put the damage down. Froggen has got the ultimate, but there's the Dark Passage being thrown out. A slam dunk from Deficio.
That's always satisfying to watch. It really, just see the Lantern save someone as they just chased him down, and Monkey was able to escape. And now they're actually going for a 4-man push on this middle turret, so EG not in position to stop this. They're going to go for a top turret instead, and Froggen left to defend by himself. Yeah,
they're going to shove down on towards the top turret, but that means Ninjas and Pyjamas, they're not going to back off from this one. They can see in themselves an advantage, and they may be able to get an inner turret. We see Bjergsen teleporting up there. He's going to try and slow down Ninjas and Pyjamas, taking a lot of damage from Yellow Pete there. That is going to be Extinct picking up the kill on Froggen, though. They're going to take down this inner turret, and EG, they're playing a dangerous game after a great advantage that they gained pushing down the mid lane of themselves. We see Bjergsen's not letting them go back. He's going to go back in towards that bush. They turn it around, though. They're trying to hook on towards him, but while this is happening, Ninja and Pyjamas are pushing on towards the inhibitor turret. He flashes away. They're putting a lot of damage down onto it. This is great play from Ninjas and Pyjamas, tactically outplaying Evil Geniuses. And very good damage onto that turret. It's actually down to under half life, so if they want to go back to it and siege it down, they probably can, and that also means for Evil Geniuses, they could not afford to not be in the right position at the wrong time. Wrong. We're not to be in a bad position. Out of position. Out of position. Thank you, Demon. See, you're always right. Out of position, because that means NIP can just rush down that middle lane, get an inhibitor turret middle, which is going to be very, very bad for you, and maybe even an inhibitor off of that. So, lots of advantages gained, certainly for Ninjas in Pyjamas. There was a turret that went down for EG. It was that top lane turret. We do see this bottom turret is going to probably be the next target, which is why Freeze is clearing out that wave of minions. But it does mean that Yellow Pete and Crepo are heading down to this bottom lane. We already see Froggen there. They may well try and set up for a gank. They could dive on the turret here. Freeze is going to go in for him. He's just managed to try and get that charm in there. Ace in the hole comes through as well. Froggen taking a lot of damage from the turret. He's going to come splashing through. Stand United there. That means Evil Geniuses, they are in position to take this bottom turret now. What are NIP going to do to react to it? Not do anything, it looks like, because no one's heading down there to defend against it, but we do see Extinct engage on Snoopy.
no he's going to be able to kill him here, but still, they're going to lose a turret either way, and good job of Stupid just to keep him around.
Yeah, don't mess with the big dog. He just manages to pull it out, and it looks like Evil Geniuses, they're going to keep on pushing this bottom lane. NIP have to react to it. Bjergsen's going to back off here. They're going to wipe out that wave. I don't think they're going to be able to get onto the inner turret. NIP are not going to fall for it like they did before, and it seems that looking towards Extinct, he's going to try and head them off. No, he's pinged. He's backed off. NIP realize they're backing away.
And now it looks like we have a little bit of time. Good, okay, no Spin Scare and popped out of anywhere. We have a little bit of time to talk about some items and how they developed. We do have the Runic Bulwark done for Wicked, like you spotted out earlier. We have the Deathfire Grasp done for Froggen, so he's looking to really one-combo someone down, and Freeze has been the target. You saw it there, he just 1v1'd him. And then, of course, we do have LP picked up his Eye Edge, so now he finally has a little bit of damage behind him. And over on the other side, Abyssal Scepter done, the Nisi Large Rod done for Extinct as well. You look down the list, Rod of Age is now done, the tier is still stacking up, the Sorcerer Boots are picked up for Bjergsen. And Freeze, he's working towards his last whisper.
Well, let's have a look across. We see Extinct going up towards, Bjergsen going up towards the top there, towards Wicked. Hasn't got that Sunfire Cape yet, so the split pushing's not quite as speedy as he would like, which is why he's a little bit slowed down. But that's exactly what EG are looking towards. Split pushing, trying to carry advantages and just keep NIP on their toes. But unfortunately for them, it seems that Bjergsen and Extinct are both capable of doing their own split pushing. Ninjas in Pyjamas, though, have gathered. They could go up the mid lane. They may catch EG out of position here again.
Maluna's either going for it. Looks like he's going to back away. They don't want to deal with Froggen right now, who's doing some good damage. They do engage on Stoopy, though.
He's going in for it. They put a lot of damage down. That should be enough. They do manage to get the kill. Remember, this inhibitor turret was taken down to half health. They've got full positional advantage here. Freeze should do the work here. He's going to have EG coming around the side. We see Wicked trying to get in position there. Pull that Eye of the Storm. That's not going to stop this inhibitor turret going down. And that is the first turret on the base of EG dropping. Will the inhibitor follow? EG trying to defend it desperately. Yellow Pete taking a massive chunk of damage there. They haven't got the turret down just yet, though.
And this is a very early inhibitor if they do get it. They have 7 seconds left on Stoopy. Wicked trying to defend here as he actually gets comboed on a little bit, dropped down to half health. It looks like they're going to keep going.
They're going to keep churning on towards him. It's Freeze, actually. You should be hitting the inhibitor. He does manage to take it down. That's the first inhibitor of the game down for Ninjas in Pyjamas. And that's just outside the 20-minute mark. That's pretty well worked for NIP, considering how much of a farm fest it was looking at earlier on. You mentioned it at the start. NIP want to close this game out as quick as possible.
And it looks like with that inhibitor, they might be able to, because now they still have the Oracle and the Fisto. Right now, he's clearing out the wards around Baron, and we might actually see a Baron fight come in really soon. Obviously, you have Wicked who can split push it. He doesn't have the Sunfire Cape, though. That is really important. As we see Freeze getting caught a little bit by Yellow Pete. Should be fine, though.
Well, Ace in the Hole is going to force him back. He was going anyway, but he did use stand aside on Yellow Pete just to step him away. Deficio was hanging around a little bit longer than possibly he should have. The bottom wave, looking at the potential split push, but it's actually Froggen that's being given the wave. And look, Wicked's actually hanging back, so he doesn't even take the experience. So
he's expecting a gank, I think, too. He's trying to kind of counter it a little bit.
Well, we'll see whether it is, or whether they're just trying to let Froggen get the levels going, because he's only at level 13. Well, I say only, he's still their joint highest level on the game, but generally, Evil Geniuses rely heavily on Froggen to be the man leading the charge.
And the thing is, he's, like you said, he's underleveled right now. His farm is relatively good, but he doesn't have the damage he really wants. Wicked's still sticking with him. He wants to turn around a gank, but the thing is, Wicked doesn't have a Sunfire Cape, so if he's to defend the middle lane from the super minions pushing then ult into a Baron fight, he cannot do it that quick. He needs to get that Sunfire done, and he's still pushed up with Froggen right now. And NIP, they kind of maybe need to react to this, or they just go for a 4 or 5 man push on the top lane.
Yeah, they're starting to come around there. We see Froggen continuing that bottom lane push. This is actually a 4v3 in this top lane, though. NIP are going to take this inner turret down. How are they going to be react to this one? Well, you can see they're throwing out that spinning blades down towards Froggen, but Froggen, one man can't split push as quick as 3 members in the top lane, 4 members, sorry. Froggen's actually going to go back, and actually we see Wicked going back in. He's going to continue the split push, continue the damage. They're going to try and stop NIP backing off here. Bjergsen is teleporting. They're not throwing anything towards him. They could try and keep Maluno there, but you see Wicked, he's still going.
The thing is, he doesn't have a lot of damage. He's not that quick in taking out turrets. It's only down to about a third life right now, but the rest of NIP just back off instead. They don't continue that push. They don't try to go for the next inhibitor turret, but still, Bjergsen does show up in time. But will we be able to actually stop him? No, he doesn't, and it looks like Wicked might try to escape, but it's a Cassin. How do you run from a Cassin?
You cannot run from a Cassin, that's for sure. I don't think Wicked's going to escape this one. The rest of the team are also collapsing in towards him. Wicked's going to try and stand united. Has already just used the Null Sphere, so he does get away from that one with the stand united. Nicely played, Wicked there. Waited for him to just use that Null Sphere so he can have a silence.
Now NIP should have the control over this Baron pit. There's 3 wards still down for Evil Geniuses. They know this Baron's going to be started here, but right now, Bjergsen's bot lane, oh, so they're trying to go for a pull on the Frog and try to get him over that wall and try to go for that instant kill.
Oh, Crepo. They catch him, they're going to throw him towards him, they go straight in there, throwing these instant stun down. Froggen's been caught out as well, he tries to get away. Howling Gale from Crepo does manage to give Froggen the chance to escape, but that was a quick kill. And well, they baited it in there. They knew that someone would come and try and put that ward in that bush, and the hook was thrown towards Crepo.
And all they need to do is just wait right now. The middle is pushing. They have Supermans on their Nexus turrets in a couple of seconds, and they're just sitting by Baron making Evil Geniuses respond. Either give up that Baron or fight them and potentially lose that fight in a 5v4. NIP looking very strong enough. They can keep this up. If they don't give away this Baron, which we've seen before, it's drawn teams in as that nuke magnet and really turn games around. And NIP, they don't want to make that mistake. They already got lucky with Gambit once, but instead, they back away. So I have to say, smart move.
Smart move, but the bottom inner turret's got a massive wave of minions on it. They may be able to take it down there, I think. And you can see Evil Genius is trying to react to this one. So despite all the posturing, all the maneuvering, they still may lose that turret to it. You can see it's almost gone. The minion's going to take it down. And that is another turret for Ninjas in Pyjamas. 7-5 now. Lots of turrets all across the map are down. It's still a very dangerous game for both teams.
It's coming to that point where one mistake is going to snowball one team. Luckily for NIP, they do have that nice 4,000 gold advantage. They're farming up quite a bit. We do have the last Whisper now done on Freeze, and the Archangel staff stacking up to that Ceres Embrace. We even have the Rune, or the Aegis picked up for Maluno here. So both teams, I have to say, in terms of damage, NIP outscales EG right now. But just because NIP's picking up things consistently around the map, gap's going to widen even further, and EG are starting to be strangleholded a little bit in terms of gold, where Yellow Pete, he hasn't really completed an item since that IE in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's because it's been Froggen that's been split pushing. Ordinarily, you'd have the AD carry off the side there, taking down the waves and waves of minions, but you can see it's Wicked in the top lane doing it right now, Froggen in the bottom lane doing it, so Yellow Pete not getting the chance to keep that farm going that often you just need for your AD carry. Instead, he's having to take the jungle options.
Especially a Caitlyn. That's the thing. It's even more crucial on her because you need those items to kind of make your mid game a little bit quicker. So you transition to the late game where your attack speed really increases, since she's obviously changed. I believe it was about 3.6 or 3.7 where her attack speed per level was increased, but her base attack speed was lowered. So NIP still with this Oracle with Bjergsen split pushing because he has that teleport. They're trying to bait EG into a fight.
Well, we see them still hanging around. Could they do the exact same again? They're going to clear out those 2 pink wards that were in there. Crepo's like, oh, guys, really? Do I have to go do this
Don't make me do it.
They don't have vision. They do see Deficio just off the side once again. He wants to throw out the hooks. Snoopy has to get the Spirit Fire, and he's trying to get vision. And again, we see Extinct just poking out towards there, but that Baron is taken very low here. They're probably going to finish it before EG get close. Snoopy can't get in there, and that is going to be an easy Baron pickup for NIP.
Even Bjergsen started teleporting in just to scare them away, so that is an easy Baron for them. And with that inhibitor being down middle, they can just go for a push on the top or bottom, most likely, since Bjergsen already has it, but he gets engaged upon by Froggen.
Well, has he got enough damage? Standing Knight is going to come across, doesn't manage to go, Flash is in there, he's going to use that one more dash. Bjergsen, though, he's going to be able to zip away again, riff walking around the map, straight to the arms of his Ninjas in Pyjamas team, and they have themselves a slumber party, and they're dancing on the inhibitor.
And they're going to take that one down and then back away off of that. So going to have a little bit of extra gold to spend now, 1,200 on Bjergsen to buy up. And that was a really funny escape by him as well, hopping over walls left and right. NIP now actually looking to push the top end. And because of that Baron buff, Bjergsen's going to be healed up by the time they get back to that inhibitor turret.
Well, Ninjas in Pyjamas going to clear the top wave out now. So Super Minions back to going up that mid lane. That's going to clear itself. You see Bjergsen picking up a chunk of farm, as does Extinct, who is untouchable so far, and honestly, there's a number of members of the team that are the same. Bjergsen's still yet to go down. We did mention it at the start as just how maneuverable they are and how slippery they are to pin down, and you just saw it there with Ahri. Very fast, very easy to jump around the map, and Wicked, neither of them could catch onto Bjergsen. He just zips away with those riff walking. Honestly, it's the exact same for Extinct, and that's really been the key problem that EG have had so far.
Yellow Pete, he's got to be very careful here. Extinct, he's like looking at him or Frog, and he wants to go for the engage, lock them down, because then the rest of NIP can collapse on top of this. Bjergsen obviously can just get over the wall, so can Extinct, and I don't know, even just as they don't really have ward control, as you do see the clock come out, but not going to gauge upon that. And with the Oracle, most importantly, is that EG won't see NIP coming in terms of Extinct and Bjergsen. So if you're one of those carries, you can get bursted down very quickly as Bjergsen. He's going to push that middle in the meantime, just try to keep someone over there.
Yeah, he's keeping Yellow Pete away from this turret, which means that wave clear is going to be a lot harder for them. Coming back around the side, he's got that maneuverability to just zip in, zip out. You can see he's hanging around. It's like he's not worried at all. He goes aggressive on towards Yellow Pete. One combo takes Yellow Pete down to half health there on the Nexus turret, and he's already in trouble. That means you can see they're going to hook in there. Snoopy, they catch out. He has to go into his ultimate form, but they just zip down. Yellow Pete going down. They're going to jump on towards this one. Monsoon, we had to come out from Crepo. That was simply defensive maneuverabilities, though, and NIP are going to take down the second inhib turret of the game and the second inhibitor. They are just in complete control over Evil Geniuses right now.
That whirling death coming out of Freeze, it stopped right on the edge of Yellow Pete, hit him twice in a row, and he's bursted down before he could do anything. And now it looks like they might be heading bottom here to take that turret for free, or at least push up the wave so they can do that. And NIP looking very much in control. And considering we're half an hour in, only 9 kills going down overall, it's a very weird game.
Very, very weird game, but it's also complete control by NIP, honestly. Since the little bit of play, EG had that great tactical maneuverability in the mid lane once they got Freeze, but after that, NIP seemed to just take control of the map, take control of the situation. We see Bjergsen just going where he pleases right now. He's riff walking around, clearing out the waves, and just causing chaotic problems for Evil Geniuses. You see that Eye of the Storm once again on the tower, trying his best to defend it off there. All the split pushing in the world that EG have been doing has not worked, and it seems that Ninjas in Pyjamas, with their double AP strat once again, Bjergsen on the Nexus turrets. No cares given whatsoever, just absolutely lashing away at that one. They're trying to send someone back. They've actually sent Wicked in there. Shadow dashes across, doesn't catch it. Now the hook comes in. Snoopy's caught out. He's going to get dropped down very, very low. Is it going to be enough? The flay comes out, but Deficio taken low. They may actually get a kill here. They do. Froggen's the one that takes down Deficio, but that's going to be the Nexus turret going down. Bjergsen's still doing work. He thinks he's Peke right now, doing work on the back door. That means he's going to expose the bottom lane inhibitor. That's going to be the rest of NIP coming through. Ninjas in Pyjamas will be taking down Evil Geniuses here, and wow, what a turnaround. This 3-man change of NIP seems to have worked absolute wonders for them. And EG, well, they're not done and dusted just yet. They're forcing them out the base, but there is nothing left of it. And it is 11-5 in turrets. Everything down for EG. They are just in absolute stalemate defensive mode.
And Bjergsen, when he was attacking that turret, he actually let Wicked go. He didn't even want to silence him to keep him there. He's like, all right, you go. I know my team can back away. I'm going to take a free Nexus turret off that. And in the end, obviously, too, but I really hope it doesn't take them a Baron to finish the game. They shouldn't need that.
No.
They should just go for the finish, to take that last inhibitor and just wait for all those super minions to pile up, and not to mention going back, buying some big items. Infinity Edge done for Draven. We have the Runic Bulwark done for Maokai, the Lock of the Iron Solari done for Deficio. We even have Death Caps done left and right with one on Cassin, one on Lissandra, and a Void Staff coming in for Extinct. So if they weren't already strong enough before, they're going to be even stronger now. And Evil Geniuses, if they're going to pull something out, if any team's to come back from a situation like this, you know it's Evil Geniuses back in that game at DreamHack in 2012 versus Gambit.
I think NIP have really had an absolute brilliant lineup change. I was always a fan of Extinct when he was in Kersey U and Maluna. They were both great players. Kersey U just seemed to underperform for some reason or another. Even when Kraton was in there as well, by the way. It's another player that's from that old lineup a long time ago. Didn't really work out for them, but Freeze coming in, he's been doing a fantastic job, and it seems to be a great change. As much as I love the players that are in there, and I hate to see players going out of the LCS anytime players get replaced, but this change, big change as well. A lot of ballsy changes to make by them, but it seems to have worked wonders.
You do see Froggen trying to go in as a last stand here. Extinct gets very low, but they're going to fight this out.
Well, they're going to hook in there. Bjergsen comes around the backside, takes down Crepo. Riff walks back away. Maluna goes diving in there. You can see it's Extinct keeping the poke down. Freeze spinning those axes, putting the damage down on Snoopy. That ultimate doesn't seem to be able to do a lot. The inhibitors have respawned in the mid lane. That's going to get cleared out. Extinct's going to take that one down. Maluna's taking the bottom one. That's going to be double super minions. Those axes, those blades continuing to go along there. Wicked's going to get dropped down. One more lash should do it. It's going to be Deficio that gets on. No, it's a triple kill for Freeze. And you see actually Bjergsen coming back in with the home guard boost, just trying to throw the hook out to Froggen. Froggen on that fountain dancing around, making sure he doesn't die. He tries to land the charm on Bjergsen. He does get it, but he's still not going to get the kill. It's going to be the win for Ninjas in Pyjamas.